Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it should pop up.
should pop up now.
Should pop up
So if you're
now.
on my channel now, you should
If
see.
you're on my channel now, you should see live.
I see. How do you mute this? All right.
Right.
You should, right?
I'll take for you all night, boy.
The John help out
The
your
John
Jimmy.
help
Why
out
the
your
John
boy
stick?
Jimmy.
Which direction you'll
What
see
direction
this?
you'll see this?
So
So
this one is me.
this one is me.
This one is Savio.
This one is
This
Savio.
one is
This one is
the John.
the John.
And
And
This one.
we have Chelsea here.
Cuba Sex
Cuba
Scholarship.
Sex Scholarship.
Hey, this guy's a star, you know. One time, you know.
Big star, big star.
Up
Wow.
to now,
You're not moving this John. And this
Oh,
one.
God.
Let me see if I can get to move.
So we just
sorting all this here.
remove
Remove from calls, people with your feed.
I'm gonna remove
I'm gonna
your
remove you and add you back, right?
Mhm.
You all
can feel free to start and drop some questions, and Chelsea, you can deal with them questions.
Nice, Somebody's saying they're hearing you twice.
I'm good.
Twice.
It's like an echo.
Right, let me
Somebody
just.
take-
Yeah, sort of the echoing.
How about now?
Somebody take one, I'm moving.
Yeah, you're moving.
Hold on.
Yo, this is the first time I'm doing this, so just excuse the lack of echoing. Yeah, the echoing. Right. Echoing still? We'll start
No,
as
not
soon as
about
everything
That's
comes.
right.
Better? Wait.
So have you look LeBron?
Hey, was this him now?
Alright, so Savio studies in Savio, introduce yourself now, brother.
Alright, what's going on? I am Savio. I am in United Kingdom, in CAS Business School,
Carly Trinidad.
and currently in Trinidad in quarantine. You know what it is. And yeah, 2 business management student. That's really. Mm-hmm.
Simple.
Dijon, we
My
say no
name
this.
is... Hello. My name is Dijon. I'm in... don't matter. I am at year 2 medical school in Mount Hope studying MBBS.
What does that stand for?
What MBBS stand for?
Bachelor's in medicine and bachelor's in surgery.
Right.
MBBS.
And Chelsea.
Alright, well, hi, my name is Chelsea Radhe, and well, I also study in UE. UE St. Augustine. Well, it's usually in Mount Hope, and I'm in final year despite what is going on, and I'm also studying my bachelor's in medicine, bachelor's in surgery. Although I'm in 5th year, that would more be my bachelor's in surgery. I finished the bachelor's of medicine part. That's usually year 1 surgery, so yeah.
My hero.
Alright. So I think the number 1 question Chelsea says she gets. By the way, are you still hearing me echoing? Because I'm hearing echoing. Anyhow, the number 1 question that Chelsea gets is how do you
I'm moving.
specialize?
What?
What's the number 1 question you get, Chelsea? Yes, no, I
What?
hear that echoing too. Go ahead with the question.
Yeah. Usually, the people ask me what field of medicine are you studying. So the MBBS program essentially is a general medical degree, if that makes any sense. You're not specializing in cardiology or pediatrics, you're doing everything. So when you get to year 4 and 5, you are experienced or exposed to surgery, general surgery, psychiatry, pediatrics, internal medicine, and internal medicine would entail cardiology and endocrinology and all of that. So you are exposed to all of that, and then when you finish, you are basically I don't want to say a general practitioner, but a general doctor. And then you would do a year internship, and then from there you could decide to pursue whichever field of medicine you liked. So I always have to explain that to people because they think right away when you do the program you're already doing like cardiology or something like that. But you're doing everything, and then after you get into whatever specific field that you liked.
Someone is asking, is sixth form needed for medicine, Chelsea?
Dijon. Yes, I would no, it's not needed. You could also do N1. I have some friends who would have done N1 and they are currently doing medicine. You could do Form 6 and do biochem and another subject, or I think you could certain degrees can also allow you to apply for medicine. So I have a friend, I think she did biochemistry, and that was sufficient for her to get into the program. So I'm not
one of the things we were saying last night, comparing the difference between N1, like for people in Trinidad, N1 and Cape, was that Cape is the easier route and that N1 is like a last resort for most people.
I would say so. I feel like a lot of people would disagree, maybe, but I think Cape is definitely easier if you want to do medicine and probably engineering as well. I don't know so much so for modern studies and stuff like that. I would definitely, if you know from from the time you enter Form 6, you want to do medicine, I would say do Cape over N1.
Yeah. So most of the students I have went into N1 say that N1 is a little more competitive, and they hit the ground running, and the kind of convenience that Cape offers is that you're still getting spoon-fed, whether you want to believe it or not. You're still getting spoon-fed in terms of time,
Definitely.
and you can get lessons teachers, and you can get your teachers, and that the exam is at one point. You're not getting anything too consistently except the IAs. Also, you can do bad in Unit 1 and still catch back yourself in Unit 2. And
Very true.
N1, you had to keep up a steady pace, and you had to maintain a high standard to get into medicine.
Yeah, kind of had to fend for yourself, and it's like you jump from secondary school and you just jump into the deep end.
So somebody asking if anyone of you all did SATs. Samuel?
No, I didn't do any SATs.
Right.
I just did straight Cape.
So tell us the process, Samuel, of how you got into London.
Well, basically the process with that is, it has a special process where there's a body called UCAS. I can't remember off the top what it stands for, right? But basically to apply for any school in the UK. Huh?
Spell it.
UCAS.
Oh, okay.
So basically what you have to do is they basically take all applications. They act as the intermediary. So you basically pay them and you give them all your documents, all your files, everything. And you write your personal essay, all that stuff. And you give them 5 choices of universities in the UK that you want to go to. And basically they send out everything. They organize it into a package for you and send it to the schools.
Oh, so
and basically the schools respond to them.
You had to write an essay. What I mean, what's
Yeah,
the essay?
true.
Because I see people coaching people how to write this essay and different things to put in your package.
Yeah. On the UCAS website itself, they have their own portal where you upload like different stuff. And for the essay, you have to write a personal essay. Basically just explain, basically bigging up yourself and why you think you should get into these schools, basically, right? So they take everything that you give them, put it into a package, send it into each of the schools, and then the schools basically reply to them saying whether or not they will accept you or not. So you're doing everything through them instead of you going directly to the school.
Right,
So
so let me
that's
just
what I do.
backtrack a little bit. We might come back to that point, but let me backtrack
Yeah.
a little bit to just get, like, people who are always interested in what it takes to get a scholarship. All of y'all got an additional?
I got on it.
And open.
I get additional.
Alright.
I can answer some of these questions here quick.
Go ahead, Andy. What it takes.
Just on the backup. This guy asks, what grades did each of you get? Get to get a scholarship. Well, I get all ones, but I think I only get like 2 distinctions or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I did biochem in Caribbean studies. I did Caribbean studies in lower 6. I got 3 ones and a 2 in lower 6, and then I had to repeat the Caribbean studies, all ones. But obviously, everybody know now that that grouping for Envi is completely different. So, yeah. Somebody was asking for Chelsea or Dijon. After Cape, can you directly apply to get into program you are doing? If his short answer is yes.
Yeah.
If it's medicine in particular, you just have to do what you have to do and send in the information and hope that you get accepted right away. But most of the time, how everything mapped up now and is everybody trying to do medicine, you just have to count your blessings if you do get through.
Mm-hmm. But if you don't get through, you get to apply. Well, I don't know if they don't defer you anymore.
Well, some people got deferred, but they're trying to cut down on that, so not everybody getting deferred anymore.
Okay.
And if you don't know what deferred is, that is, you don't get accepted for the year that you apply for, but they will leave a space for you in like the next year or how much years you get deferred for.
Yes, in the following year, most likely.
Yeah.
Hold on. I see 2 questions about UCAS here, right? The first one, is UCAS costly? No, I think, if I recall, it was like 200 TT. It's like £20. It's not expensive to pay them. And how long before after Cape Unit 2 do you need to apply to UCAS? Well, the deadline to send in the applications to them is the 15th of January.
You remember that date from 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can extra subjects guarantee you getting a scholarship? It depends on the grouping with the subjects you're doing, because if you're just doing a set of subjects that all in one group for the scholarship, then that don't really make sense. So like, it have people, when I went prayers, guys would do phys chem, maths, and applied outside. So in that way, they qualify for 2 groupings, that is maths and natural sciences. Wait, that is maths. I don't know.
But anyway,
yeah, you would have qualified for long story short, yes. But you have to make sure that the extra subject that you're doing would make you qualify in a different group, because then it wouldn't really make sense.
But then you need to wait too, because the extra subject could bring down everything and you're trying to aim for 2 things and you end up missing. So you have to know if you're able to do an extra subject, like if that is not a burden for you and stuff. So we're coming up to the study advice just now, but there's an earlier question.
I also did biochem and I saw someone ask that earlier. According to some people, they say you didn't really get a scholarship if you did that combination, but
the money is the same.
So
I get money.
yeah, same.
Yeah, so there are easier combinations. I think one of the hardest combination is the physics, chem, maths. That's one of the more competitive combinations.
I think TD sometimes, if you want to do engineering, TD, maths, and physics, I would say that's a challenging combination as well. Yeah, GMAT. Sorry, GMAT.
Yeah.
Is medical school hard? How do you manage? I want to do either pediatrics or obs and gyns. That is a very relative question, and it's a question I don't like to answer by saying yes or no, because if you really want to do something, that is why from before you have to make sure that you end up in something that you truly want to do. Because if you're into something that you're definitely 100% into, it doesn't matter if it's quote unquote hard or not, because you will get through anyway. Just because something hard, that doesn't mean you can't do it. So
that's just
instead of asking something if something is hard, because you can still do it if it's hard or not.
And I tell myself all the time, anything would happen would always be hard, nevertheless. If it was easy, everybody would do it. So as cliche as it sounds, it's true.
So
something.
I want each of you all to just pick out one key studying tip that you think really help you and still helps you in your whole process of studying, like coming up to exams. We start with Chelsea.
You start with me.
Yeah. You get the warm up last night.
I mean,
I get
other than like a studying habit, right? You would say.
Tip.
Me?
Somebody's making noise.
No, I wish no.
Oh, it's me. Sorry.
Are you?
I was typing an answer for somebody.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So I wish I knew this when I was in secondary school. When they say go home and do a little bit every day, it really does help, because when you get to university, it's very well. At least if you're doing medicine, it's very difficult to cram, and also so you don't want to be a doctor who cram, because I mean you have a lot of accountability and responsibilities as a doctor. What you learn is things you need to know for the rest of your life. So I would never encourage people to like try from early, as in CAPE or CSEC, get the habit of doing a little bit of work every day. I honestly didn't do it, but I had to burn to learn, and when I got to UE, because it was kind of like a culture shock. I realized I couldn't do all the work a week before finals, and the most mental breakdowns I've ever had was because of school and not preparing. So I would say try your best and find a balance. And not saying that you need to just do schoolwork alone. You could find a balance and enjoy the experience, because university is a nice experience. It depends on what you want to get out of it. So just find a way to balance it with other stuff and do a little bit every day, or at least on weekends try and go over what you did during the week, and try and always stay motivated, because it's hard to study so long. Like for so long, to always have to be doing work, especially when you get to your clinical years, you have major exams every 2 months. So at some point you'll be like, oh gosh, you'll get fed up. Just always remind yourself why you're doing it, and just always try your best to work hard. Honestly, that's as best as I can say it.
Well, that's 3 tips there, but we focus on the first one. The first one where you need to do, but it's big tips. The first one where you need to do be consistent, because CXC could get any habit, especially if you're a smart student. You could cram for CXC a month, 2 weeks before the exam, and mash up the exam, especially if you watch some of my videos, and you can start to get a false sense of confidence in your own brilliance, and you repeat it for CAPE, and it probably may not work, but you might develop a way you get through, maybe even do well enough. But then university, if you're doing a pretty challenging degree, that will take you to the ground. Yeah. Dejan, what's your tip?
I find that when I'm studying, whatever I have to study, I like to make sure that I know the system of how like the entire layout works, because I don't like to blindly study something. So like when I was in Form 6, I would look at the past papers before I even know the information, so I would know the way the questions are coming in the first place, because that's how it is end up studying for something that probably barely going to come or doesn't hold much maths. So it's about studying smart, not hard. Yeah, I don't know what you're studying for.
Big talk.
That's something else I wanted to say, but I forget the words. I was reading something.
Well, all right, so that tip is, and that's something I almost always say at the channel, or even if I go to private tutor somebody, the first thing I do is try and get like a framework of where they're at, and a framework of what I want to attack in terms of the syllabus. And you're always laying out a map. Okay, we're going to do this. Okay, there's this. And that is something that you notice with students who do well, like y'all, students who do well. You don't notice that with students who struggle. They're clueless. It's just like they're reading pages in the textbook without knowing what comes next. So they never really do any past paper. They really never look at the syllabus. They never really know the full extent of what's to be tested. Especially when you're in university, you always want to get an idea of what the course entails. So what you're going to be tested on. Alright, Samuel.
The biggest tip I could say, and it's more so geared to the business people, because we have a lot of essays to write. Writing is one of the biggest things that you could do when you're studying. So you'll be surprised how much more you'd learn and retain when you write out what you're studying. Because if you just sit down and read, yeah, you're studying, but in my opinion, in my experience, when you're writing out what you're doing and actually writing your essays, writing answers, just writing, you basically ingrain what you're studying so much better into your mind, right? And as one of the best pieces of one of the best quotes I ever heard with that is, you read it, you write it, you learn it, right? And to me, that's stuff, because up to this day with the modules I'm doing, I always have to write. I'll probably just read if it's like a small like midterm test or something, but for finals, always have to write. And that worked up to this day.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, another thing too, I find when I was in Form 6, like I would see people trying other techniques that wouldn't work for them. You know yourself more than anybody else, right? Just because something works for somebody else, that doesn't mean it will directly work for you. Like everybody has a different brain. Everybody each person processes things differently. So you need to actually sit down and take your own time to realize what actually works for you.
I think
you have to spend time trying to figure out before it's too late.
So with the writing, one of the reasons I find that works is because all your exams ever, well, except a few oral exams, you do it by writing. So if you read, you're giving yourself false confidence in where you are at. When you're writing over a question, you know exactly what you know. So you're able to revise. Okay, I don't know this, I can revise that. But when you're reading, you don't know what you know. You can end up thinking you know more than you know, and that can lead to going in an exam room and running blank. And you would see a run blank, but the idea is that you just didn't know as much as you thought you know. You wasn't so confident.
It's funny that you say that, though, because last semester I had a finance midterm, and I really kind of I broke my own rule, right? Because I was lazy, so I was slacking off kind of. But I was just reading. I didn't do much writing at all. And funny enough, that one is the one that I barely scrape a pass. Barely, just from reading.
Right.
I really do work sometimes. Plenty of them asking about motivation tips.
Right.
You had to find your own motivation.
You had to put motivation for different things. As I would have said last night, I feel like for me, I used to even till this point, I have my screensaver is put on your phone because I have a habit of always on my Instagram. So I would have to delete Instagram and I would write a little note in my notes in my phone and say, just push a little bit, you're almost there. I would stick up little things in my room, on my laptop. Like for me, before I went into clinicals, this might sound really stupid, right? So clinic, like year 4s and 5, they wear sketchers. You don't really wear that in year 1 to 3. So I had this, I draw a picture of a sketcher on my laptop and I was just like, you want to wear these shoes?
Oh my gosh.
So every time I open my laptop, I would see it. So for me, it was just always trying to remind myself, what you're doing this for.
That's perfect.
Okay, I have this line my father used to tell me when I was in primary school, and for some reason it stuck with me my whole life. And it's real simple: do what you have to do to get to do what you want to do. Because all you getting tired with these colors here, but me in particular, I really don't like to study. But I want to make money and I want to live a comfortable life. So I just did what I had to do to reach where I want to reach so I could do what I want to do, because that's what we're doing all this for at the end of the day. It really that simple, because we're doing all this for to feel. We're getting off of that. Feeling should be your biggest motivation. Why would you want to feel?
Let's make you,
Don't feel. That's your biggest motivation. Whenever you feel down and realize you can't do that work anymore, well, you're just setting yourself up to fail. And
that's good talk.
So you stop. So I just going to remove him from the phone and bring him back in.
Dijon, what does an additional scholarship cover as for both local and away? Okay, what I was trying to explain, Chelsea can help me out on this because I'm not completely sure. The additional covers full tuition and you get a stipend, as in money for you to spend on yourself or however you feel to spend it. But it covers full tuition. The additional covers full tuition once you stay in Trinidad. It used to be regionally as well, like in the Caribbean, but I don't know if that changed now.
I don't think so. Actually, I know, I'm not sure, so I don't want to say.
Because the whole situation with Gate and stuff, and since that switch up in 2016, that whole situation changed. But as far as I know, in Trinidad, the additional covers everything. But if you come out of Trinidad, you have to make sure and find this out. But internationally, if you go away with an additional scholarship, it will only cover the Trini equivalent to whatever you're doing. So like med is 71,000 TT a year. It would only give you 71,000 TT, and you would have to find the rest of the money to pay the rest of the tuition if you go away. The the additional.
But if they want to go to Mona or Cable, it would cover the tuition in Mona or Cable because it should be the same value.
I was wondering because I know that changed too because I think it used to actually that changed because the scholarship I don't believe the scholarship covers the full tuition anymore.
Really?
Cyrus. We have we have to research that because it had some changes. I don't know if it went back to how it originally was, but if you have an open scholarship, that covers full tuition no matter where you go. For your full degree, by the way, but only your first degree, not your master's, your first degree.
Yeah, first.
The point of the scholarship is for you to complete your first degree. Yeah. This guy in the chat, Ariel Cyrus, you all could ask him questions too because he's also a scholarship winner. He did maths and physics and whatever in Form 6, so you all could ask him questions in the chat as well.
So anybody here from the online class had the thing, you all would know that Ariel is the one who corrects all your tutorials, all your assignments, sorry. Ariel is a beast in mathematics, and he also corrects me. If I have a mistake in the assignment, in the solutions, he will let me know him and another girl. So maybe some other time.
Somebody said they cried when trying to figure out their physics homework. Honestly, that was me in Form 5. Thank God for Kerwin because I didn't know my hand from my foot in physics. Till this day, I go here that one I got. He worked a miracle, honestly. So that hit home. Physics ain't it for me.
I say that a business call question here. If the competition as stiff as the science ones, honestly, I would say it's stiffer because it's only afterwards I found out that they actually offer less business scholarships compared to the science scholarships. So it actually is harder for a business scholarship to win one.
Alright, so a lot of these scholarships kind of only puts in to the Trinidadian, and I know we do only have Trinis here. So let me jump into a little ticklish subject. Those of y'all who hear from the original, I mean like when this channel only had like 2,000 subscribers, will remember that I actually did an interview with Savio and Dejon about 2 years ago. And Savio was in a relationship. And Savio was about to go on a long distance relationship. And he was confident that, he said relationship can hold together over
Sweet man.
Am I right, Savio?
You ain't lying.
Right? So I want his opinion on studying in secondary school, because I think it was a secondary school relationship, and college, a university. How, what effects you see that have on your relationship? And you can feel free to get personal without calling anybody out and you
well, I think the factor that would determine whether you all stay together, or one of the biggest factors, is the distance itself, right? So studying in school, obviously, the biggest piece of advice with having a relationship while in school is knowing your priorities, and you have to have that understanding between each other, right? Because your significant other can't expect you to put themselves, or rather they can't expect you to put them over their work, basically, because they have to understand you have to do your work first. That's the biggest thing, right? And as long as you
Chelsea, that you're not getting on that, so?
No.
Yeah,
Oh
that might
shit, my dogs. I'm gonna make myself.
monsters out. But yeah, as long as you know you have the priority to put your work first, and they understand that, then you could work through anything, right?
Right.
But same thing with college as well, right? But when you bring the long distance factor into it, especially being in different countries, it could work. Not saying it cannot work,
Right.
right? And what I will say is that it will be hard, it will be tested, and you have is one of the hardest things that you could do. I have friends who actually went through the whole process and they came back and they still together strong and whatnot.
Yeah.
I can't say the same thing,
Right.
but yeah, you just have to know your priorities and your commitments and just have to put that first. Because at the end of the day, it's not guaranteed to last, you know.
Right. So
But
you would
with
say that the
success,
distance was the problem and not you.
it was part of the problem. It was part of the problem. It had other stuff on the side too, but
Right.
it was a factor. I can't deny that.
The distance was a factor.
But yeah.
So it wasn't really the studies, more the distance.
But
It wasn't really
I can
the
see.
studies, like you studying and that kind of thing and focusing on studying.
yeah.
Right. Well, people asking how many years were you all together. So
About 4 years, 5. Yeah.
tips for a
I
trouble.
wanted to say something about that.
Right.
I had a girlfriend at some point too. You know.
Sweet man.
Alright, I had a girlfriend from Form 3 to Form 5, and for some reason I never really understood how that could be a distraction for some people, because the way I used to see it is that nobody actually wants a shipping man as a boyfriend, so that actually used to motivate me to do my schoolwork. If that wasn't motivation enough, I don't know what else could be motivation, because
Same. I used to always say I don't want my boyfriend to say I wanted him to say he had a smart girlfriend, so that used to help me push myself as well.
But
and she
these
used to help me in
days,
my work.
John, let me tell you something as a teacher, that is not the popular opinion out here.
Serious?
Confidence is in style.
Oh,
They don't mind serious. At least what I see in general with school people, they is more zest. It's how much you say in terms of social standing more than intellectual. Until you start to reach into older ages, and then you start to realize what is the important thing.
that's true. I understand. Well, it just never really affected me, because I know for myself that I don't want nobody feel like shipping that way, especially my girlfriend. So
Oh,
that's all I have to say.
I see a really important question here that I missed, and I'm trying to get back to it.
Yeah, they have some really good questions that I can't type and answer them at the same time. So when you go to UE doing med, for example, you have a profile full of extracurricular. Do you continue doing more?
Right.
You can if you want, but it's not like mandatory. But I would advise that you find something to do other than schoolwork, because just doing work alone could like send you insane. So
Very important point. Learn from now, because for you would find yourself consumed in schoolwork. Learn to balance your schoolwork with everything else, because schoolwork.
Like, when I did sorry.
Go ahead.
You have to learn to treat schoolwork like a background show. When you get up in the morning, you have to brush your teeth. You have to do your schoolwork. It's something you should realize that you have to do to reach a certain way in life. If that is the path you want to take, if education is your path, you have to realize that you have to treat schoolwork like a background show. A show that you do properly, but you make sure and do everything else in your life, because schoolwork shouldn't be stopping you from living your life.
And life in itself is a balancing act. You would never be doing one thing at a time, if you understand what I mean. When you're working, you might be married and you might have your husband and your child and all of that. So it's important to get accustomed to balancing everything from now.
Yeah, this. So one of the major complaints that I get in my inbox, if I go in my Instagram now, I must pull up 10 messages just waiting. It's a suffering with procrastination. How to deal with procrastination. Now we spoke about motivation in a way, we spoke about planning in a way. Now I think some people think that okay, if they watch me, they see me doing YouTube, they see me doing maths, they see me teaching, they feel like that means I have procrastination has zero effect on me. Or they watch you all and they say, all right, scholarship winners, medicine student, management, foreign university, zero procrastination, zero effects from procrastination. What is your, once again, you could give one, Chelsea could give three, of course, because she'll give three. What are your your number one tip in managing? Because I don't think you can completely eradicate procrastination, but you can manage it in terms of what you want to do in managing procrastination.
Yeah.
Who answering at me?
Yeah,
You
sorry.
can
Go first, Natasha.
What was it? Managing, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I am a master procrastinator because I really don't like studying, right? As I say, I follow that line my father tell me my whole life. Do what you have to do to get to do what you want to do. That doesn't mean you have to be studying all the time because you have to know yourself, first of all. If you have to study all the time, you go ahead and study all the time. But I will use that example, right? When I was in Form 6, Lower 6 was a trial and error period, I guess, where you would figure out how you should be studying and when you should start studying. So by the time you know that, you'll be able to balance free time and then knowing when you should start studying. So like in upper 6, I tell myself, okay, in lower 6, I started studying around April after the 2-week vacation and I was ready for CSEC. I mean, keep. But that is me. If you need more time, you get more time. But you just have to know yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
So knowing yourself. But how does that help? Okay, like people who go ahead, Savio, but like people who okay, you're set in your mind, you know that you're supposed to do this, you know that you need to start April, but they're not getting the push, they're not getting the drive to start, to be ready.
They should go and check how much you have to pay to repeat a subject.
You feel like I don't understand. Like, okay, I understand where you're trying to like tell me, but I don't know how to put it in other words. Like,
no, big one thing.
To feel, do your work.
And honestly, so in medicine, I would try to be brutally honest. When you fail, people just kind of post.
Hold on, Chelsea. I think your speaker on your laptop maybe on, so I hear you double.
Actually, it off.
Oh, I hear you double something. But go ahead.
You hear me double still?
Nah. When you're talking.
Yeah, for me, well, procrastination. I still procrastinate to this day, but I agree with what Dijon said. If you know yourself, you don't have to push hard for, like, for instance, I have exams every 2 months, but I know I don't need to push hard every day for that 2 months. I know that if I start, like, studying a little more from the second month, I would get through. So you have to know what works for you, what style of studying works for you. You gotta know yourself. I know I can't start a week before because I like to make sure and go through my notes and understand what I'm learning, because if I don't understand, I won't remember. And next thing too, one of the biggest reasons I try not to procrastinate is simply because I don't want to fail in medicine, in that faculty. People just talk about you if you fail a subject. Just be like, she failed CNS. So,
Real shine up thing.
Embarrassing, honestly. And other, I would say, and next thing too, if you fail twice, you have to repeat with another year group. It's kind of different now. So just the fact that you don't want people to look at you and see that, like in him. Yeah, I'm not saying that stuff don't happen and you can't fail. Don't be afraid to fail, but that in itself should just be a little motivation to just try to limit the procrastination, just so people won't have other shit to say and all of that. So
hold on, I'm gonna tell you something that I'm saying but not really saying, but that I noticed from students who somehow manage to get over procrastination. One is knowing what procrastination is. Procrastination is you actually tricking yourself into thinking that you have more time than you do.
Oh,
it actually relies in you tricking yourself into thinking that you have more time than you do. So
That's crazy.
there's only 3 ways that I see to stop procrastination: is attacking the what it is, attacking the how, and attacking the why. So y'all seem to have all 3 bases covered, and let me explain, right? The what is that you're tricking yourself. So we come back to that. But the how is your environment. So you procrastinate using a distraction. So if you don't want to procrastinate, she had the thing on her phone, say put down your phone. I remember Savio, you said before the exam, you turn off your phone before you're studying. When you really need to study, you turn off your phone and get down and be studying. So you have to be able to get the strength to remove the distraction. How you procrastinate. So once you start to drive the how, it becomes harder to procrastinate. And the why, which all of it you all have really good, is the reason for your procrastination. If you don't have a reason to not procrastinate, you will procrastinate. But you all have really strong reasons. And I was telling somebody yesterday from Jamaica that my reason for not procrastinating in final year, it may not be glorious, but it's the same thing like Chelsea. Is I know I am Kerwin Spring. I can study real good. I can pass. I can do good. So I do not want it to be known, okay, I fail out. I fail out. So the reason could be ego, the reason could be public shame, the reason could be wanting to make your parents proud, wanting to make yourself, wanting to get a better job, wanting to reach somewhere in life, wanting to live comfortably. Once you have that why, and the why is attached really strong, you wouldn't procrastinate. Or you procrastinate up to the point where you know, all right, I can't go further than this, I need to get it done. But if your why not very strong, you begin to procrastinate. So the why and the how. And the what is the little tricks that I show students who procrastinated. Because remember, procrastination is you actually playing a trick on yourself into thinking that you have more time, I'll pay it off. To avoid that, you use little tips.
As well.
Go ahead, I'll come back.
I just forget to say this, that cramming does not work effectively if you don't understand the worker, because you would never finish your work in time. If you're trying to understand something for the first time while you're cramming, then you will never finish. So if you plan to cram, you have to make sure that you understand that work from beforehand. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be studying beforehand, but you have to make sure and get an understanding, because once you understand something, it will never leave you.
That ties back to self-awareness. So once you have the syllabus down, you begin to understand what you have to do still. And you know how to time it. And some people do not have that. They never really understand the whole studying process, which is a skill. They become better at it as they get older. Right, so we're gonna go on for like about 50 more minutes, eh?
Yeah, cool. Just now, somebody asking the same question. The combination for business subjects, right? I personally not too sure because I did all 3. But if I had to give my own opinion, once you have management of business as like a core, regardless of whether you do accounting or econ with it, I think that one is the most important of the 3 for a business school. But don't just take that with a grain of salt because I'm not too sure.
Is CSEC keep necessary to gain a scholarship abroad? Yes, it is, because at the end of the day, even if you want to go to America, you have to do SATs, right? But even when you do SATs and you have to sign up for school, you still need a transcript. Your transcript is your exams that you did and stuff in school. So you do need to have a background of education in order to go abroad and do work.
All right. This topic here on anxiety, this is something that a next hot button that I get a lot on Instagram, people messaging me about anxiety. Personally, I don't suffer any form of anxiety, and I always say like negative emotions. I never had that in my DNA. So the worst thing could happen, like some really scary things happen to me involving my children and things, and I still manage to keep. It's just how I'm built, how I grew up. But I know that a lot of people are not blessed with the same DNA or the same environment growing up. So some people, anxiety and depression and them kind of thing can hit really hard. And the tips for that. I mean, I have my own ideas on it, but what else? Give me some tips on how she get to that.
I still getting over it, but one thing I would say is obviously as I learned to study better and obviously better prepare for my exams, that would have helped. Just simply being a little more prepared.
Yeah.
Trusting that God brought me this far and He won't leave me. That's also kind of help with the anxiety. Having friends around you as well before exams to kind of calm you down and just, remind you, we got this far, we'll get through together. So like having friends, prayer, preparing. I mean, you could even prepare how much you want and I think you would still be anxious because I am queen of crying. Like I cry buckets of tears during exam time, all the time. More so not so much these days because I have gotten accustomed to having exams every 2 months, as I said. So the anxiety is still there, but not as bad as it was before. I know some people actually take calms, like I don't know if I don't think I think it's an over the counter tablet or something.
Hey, no drugs.
No, but I don't think it's bad. It's like to basically kind of calm you down. But I can't take that. I personally won't take it because
Chelsea, drugs.
I suffer. It's not
Drugs.
It's probably like a beta blocker or something, but I don't know. I just know I know some students take calms to help them, not like I guess get anxiety before exam.
Savio.
I have I'm always I can't take the calms. So yeah.
I don't really know how to answer the anxiety question. Like, even if I answer it, they won't really get it because anxiety has a strong way of controlling how you think and make you forget that you're in control of your mind. So you need to be aware at the end of the day that you're in control of yourself. You know what you have to do, and everything in front of you, anxiety does make it amplify and make it seem scarier than it really is. But it's not scary. Just do the same thing you was doing. Continue studying, try to relax, and just, if you have a good, proper, healthy pattern of doing your work and making, just continue that. And you would see the same results at the end of the day.
In our options too, I always remember that. God forbid you fail. I mean, yes, I spoke about it in a kind of scary way, people. But at the end of the day, God forbid you fail. You always have the chance to do it over again. Don't make it like failing is not the end of the world. It does feel like the end of the world, but it isn't. I'd have a lot of times, so I will literally have anxiety attack, and I would sit down, I'll be writing, I'll cry, I'll wipe my tears. And continue work. It's how you deal with it afterwards. If you let the anxiety control, how you function and how you study, then that's a problem. But if you just have your little anxiety attack, you cry, you gather yourself and you go back and work.
So I learning here because I'm learning is that your way of dealing with
it literally would be crying.
Your way of dealing with Chelsea is understanding that you can just go through it. So you are more like a go-througher. So you just allow allow the process to take place, and you just focus on your why, and you just continue on with the thing. And Dejon is understanding that it's more a mental thing, and the anxiety itself not adding to the situation anyhow. It's not adding or taking away from the situation. In fact, it's taking away from the situation. So
it's also taken away.
Taken away from the situation, but you shouldn't allow that. But Chelsea made a really good point. It is completely okay to be anxious. But remember, you have an obligation to yourself to do your schoolwork. So it is okay to have your anxious moment, but don't let that moment take over your whole life and stop you from doing what you have to do. Have your moment, but control it.
All right, so we near now to the end. How many extracurricular activities did
not necessary for a scholarship? Scholarship is just based on your grades. But me personally, doing extracurricular, I was basically involved in everything. And honestly, if I didn't know how to balance my time, I would mash up myself. I think everybody in my year was the same way. But Dejon as well did a lot of stuff too.
I was real into that football and whatever. You can't be just doing a set of school all the time. That's not healthy.
I agree with what Asabi said there because I went through that. When I was in upper six, a teacher, as I said yesterday, was just like, you want to be an actor? Because I was in like drama fest and stuff, or you want to be a doctor? And I told her, well, I want to do both, and I think I could do both, and I did. So, don't let the teachers say that, it's too much and all of that. Just know yourself. Don't overcommit. Just know yourself and balance your time wisely. Know how much you could handle.
Yeah.
How many hours do you all usually study for in a day? That question isn't necessary solely because how much we have to study different for how much you would have to study. So you study as much hours you need to, but the amount of time I would have to take to study would be different from yours. So
And
that comparison shouldn't matter to me or you because
I think a lot of anxiety is around time with students, and I see that I even post stuff on that in Instagram. They always concerned about how much time I need to put in, and I think that coming from your parents. Your parents want to see you studying 2 hours every day, this, doing that. But studying shouldn't be a time-based thing. It should be an objective-based thing. So you should be looking to tick off objectives. Okay, I understand this, and I can replicate it in the exam. I understand this and I can do this. I understand that if I can do everything, I don't need to study that much. I just need to keep refreshing and make sure in exam condition. But if I don't know nothing, I might need to really put up hours. A whole day, I might need to do some whole days and that kind of thing. So it's not winning, it's not about time, it's more about securing the objectives. Any more questions?
Same, I'm crying.
Is school going on normally for y'all? Oh yeah, they want to know like what happening in. Well, Savio supposed to be in London right now, but here he is in Trinidad.
Yeah, they close off school. They move all the classes online, so that's what I'm doing now. And just to answer this quick question here, right? Is it possible to do the business parts in a degree in agribusiness if I did solo science subjects for CSEC? Personally, I'm not too sure about it, so I can't really give the best advice there, unfortunately.
Do you think your school environment played a major role in achieving your grades?
School environment.
Well, you all went to different. We all went to different schools, but
Me and Savio went to his mom.
Technically,
East.
B and S is different.
Let me leave that there now, boy.
That's a good point, Savio. I with you at that point, brother.
Oh, sure.
Nah, but you really. Anyway.
Answer the question.
It honestly is do the most and the bulk of your work at home, right? So even though like some people mightn't do much work in school, or might have a bad teacher. Or
I went to school to sleep. Let me use that as an example.
Don't call the school name now that I say that. But you personally do the majority of your work at home, and I think your school environment wouldn't have any of an effect.
What was I going to say? Well,
I would say like the kind of teachers I had really good teachers when I was in Cuba East. So that was helpful, at that time for writing game. I had what I would consider the best chem and biology teachers in the school at that time. So that was helpful, I guess, and well, also Kerwin and all of that too. But ultimately, in secondary school, you more study at home, so I guess it's kind of come down to your own discipline for Cape and.
Yeah. Because my overall answer to the question.
Let me come to the question. Chelsea audio overlapping, but I think the problem is when Chelsea speak for some reason they're doubling up on the Jean side.
I don't. My laptop too loud or something.
I don't know.
I mute mine complete.
Yeah. If you use headphones, it will be better. But next time, if there's a next time, to come back to the question, it all comes on awareness of the environment and how it is affecting you. Because I teach people from nearly every school in Trinidad by now, and a lot of schools all over the Caribbean, and it's different cultures. Every school has a different culture. So you need to understand the culture and understand how to float above the culture. Like some schools that are really prestigious, I don't want to call the names of these schools. Some really prestigious girls' schools in Trinidad perform really well, record number of scholarships, but the environment pretty toxic. Like there are cliques. This group don't mix with that group. This group don't sell out. No, like okay, I used to tutor one-on-one. So if I teach him this person, she wouldn't let anybody know that I am teaching her because they don't want me to teach another person. So it's be a pretty toxic kind of environment in some schools. Some schools,
I
the
never
environment,
understood that.
some schools the environment is very helpful. Some schools people is pretend that they don't study plenty or they're not prepared and boom,
Oh,
scholarship.
those are the real mistakes.
Yeah.
The real ones.
Yeah, so you need to understand your environment and be able to float above your environment. Some schools, the environment very depressing. Your school probably not that good, or your school probably not full with any high achievers. You need to know, well, okay, I need to pull away and find a different environment that will help me. Or I need to, at least if I'm here, I need to not tune into this and I need to not tune into that. So it's understanding the environment by looking at your goal.
Overall, you need to have a strong mindset about that whole environment thing, because at the end of the day, you shouldn't let, if you really want to reach somewhere in life or reach a certain goal, if you really want to reach there, it shouldn't have, your environment shouldn't be able to really stop you. It could like slow you down, but it shouldn't be able to stop you. Because
It should
I
just be
can tell you
helpful, but it shouldn't be like something that prevents you from achieving your goal altogether.
yeah.
So
Because I can tell you also,
Amelia said to give our comments some attention. We answer any questions as fast as we can. We need to spend some time on here. Wait, are you guys in college? I came on late. Amelia came on late. That's why I didn't get any answer to somebody's questions.
Yeah.
Because we answered them questions already. Alright, so just for those who came on, just for those who came on, Chelsea going into 5th year med, Dijon, 4th, Savio. I don't know.
Going into third year
Going
next
into
semester.
third. Yeah. Right.
I go into it.
Oh, you're going into it.
Yeah.
But just
I
now.
was going to have them a little nice little life story for them to realize that the environment shouldn't be able to impact you that much.
We have 3 more
Because
minutes.
I was over there.
Hold on, I see people asking about if you have to apply for a scholarship. You don't have to do anything for it other than write your exams.
Yeah,
You
that's
just pick from there.
That's Cape, eh?
That's for Cape.
Cape.
That's for Trinidad Cape.
Like it.
That's and also
Yeah.
for Trinidad.
Yeah.
In some places, in
Right.
Ghana, you need to apply like if you want this scholarships and that kind of thing.
Be aware of your groupings as well.
Non-nationals can get her because I know someone who got the grades and she was born in Guyana, so she didn't get the scholarship, although she had the grades.
Right.
So I just clarify that.
And Trinidad has a lot of scholarships. So if you can do well in your own, compared to like other regions, it's worth it.
You know, somebody asked the same question again.
Yeah, I see.
So some of the questions that we answer already, just watch over the live. I'll post it live after I just cut out the first piece where we are sorting out stuff, and I'll allow you. I'll post it back so you can just come and take it in. Any tips for online learning? That's a really good question. We could probably take 2 more after that.
YouTube should be your best friend, depending on what you're doing, because actually, YouTube have everything.
Yeah,
Because when I was in Form 6, for Form 6 biology in particular, I had real problems with understanding DNA replication. It had like over 100 videos on DNA replication on YouTube. And just like every other subject, it have everything on YouTube. If you don't understand something, YouTube right there. Start using the internet more.
I think
Exactly.
with the amount of information that I've out here, people just even more lazy. And I wouldn't believe how many Google questions I get daily on my Instagram.
That's why I say
people will
like,
ask me, like, what is photosynthesis? Something that you can literally type in Google and get the answer for. People will ask me, how about this completing this grade? Videos that I have a whole tutorial on. So what people get worse at with more information is researching. And I posed that the other day too. The amount of information we have, the thing people will get weaker at is researching. So the information is on YouTube. And any more tips in understanding like how you learn from online? Because online have its challenges as well. Although I'm always pushing online, there are challenges learning online.
what do you mean exactly online? Like online tutors or like
Online tutors,
getting information online?
live videos, that kind of thing. Because some of them learning from Zoom and online teachers and things right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't really have much. I don't know.
Same.
You just go about it
I don't
with the same
know.
kind of determination, same way, same mindset.
I mean, that kind of sounding like you just don't have a high attention span. Because I mean, if
No,
you
that makes
online,
sense. No, it makes sense. No, that's valid point, because they have.
I'm not talking about like the person. I talk about in general. Like, if you online, just do the work. Like,
No,
what
but
tips
dog,
can I?
the biggest thing I think they kind of referring to is how easy it is to just switch a tab and go onto like Twitter or something.
Don't do that.
Because
Always come down to
no, I mean,
You better know tolerance of
it's
people.
down to you. It's down to yourself to just know what you're doing.
That's
You
what I
can't be doing your
said.
work, and Twitter cannot possess you to open Twitter. Dog. It's you doing that for
Yeah,
yourself,
it's true, it's true.
You
right?
will control
are the
yourself
one
at the end of the day. You know. You want to go on Twitter. You don't want to do your work.
It's come down to how bad you want it. You want to know about the raps on Twitter, or you want to learn it? You know,
Like what I'm
it's how
saying.
bad you want it. For me, my biggest thing is sleep. Anybody who follow me on Instagram know I always sleeping, and it's kind of affect the way I study because I want to sleep so bad all the time. But at the end of the day, I want my degree more than I want to sleep. So I would drink my coffee, gather myself, and study.
Oh yeah, guys. Sometimes you have to be prepared to sacrifice some of your sleep.
Definitely.
For some, depending on the subjects you're doing, sometimes you have to sacrifice sleep because my hardest subject in Form 6 was chemistry, without a doubt, especially Unit 1 because I'm not good at maths. So all them maths questions to do with logs or whatever, I wasn't on that. So, like, my schedule for chemistry in particular was serious. I would get up, I would study for 12 hours pure chemistry just to make sure I understand that. So, yeah, that's what I had to
So,
say.
y'all, I realize Chelsea is pushing a lot of drugs here, coffee and calm and thing. But this is a this is a young channel, you know, so we're not advocating for coffee and
Yeah.
calm
I
here.
never used to drink as much coffee in Cape and CSEC, but for CSEC,
The echo.
for UE, I started be drinking like a whole flask of coffee daily. But that's just me. I have narcolepsy.
Alright, so guys, listen to this tip, right? It sounds like you can't do it, but you could. When I was in Form 6 and I used to get like real sleepy and restless, I just used to do jumping jacks and go and bathe in cold water. It has actually helped. Get your blood pumping. Like you have to revive your body because your body just, you're sitting down there for hours, your body not doing anything, your muscles not doing anything. So you will just start to get sluggish. Yeah, that's,
I didn't used to do the jumping jacks. Sam, you're trying to remember.
Or just if you need to take
I didn't
a
used to
nap.
do the jumping jacks, but I used to do cold bath.
them jumping jacks does help. You gotta get your blood running. You gotta like wake up yourself. That is actually a fact.
The cold bath is really
I think I am one person who could give tips about sleep and studying. Like for me,
Somebody
things
turn
were
off your
so
mic.
bad. If I would walk and read in a corner, that's how tired I used to be. Things used to be really bad for me. But
Hold on, eh?
I feel like
Sean, when Chelsea going really
the
close
audio
to the thing,
overlap.
just turn off your mic, right?
I'm gonna mute myself again.
Yeah, go ahead, Chelsea.
Yeah. I have to find. I usually have to find all kind of antics to stay awake. Initially, I used to walk, so I mean, obviously, if you're walking, you wouldn't fall asleep. But then I used to start another way while walking. And I think that time I wasn't listening to my body, and I should have just taken a nap because at the end of the day, you really need to add a little bit of sleep to consolidate. Sometimes if you take a nap, just don't get too comfortable. Like for me, I would lie down in the library, all kind of thing, to just so I wouldn't oversleep and thing like that. But that's only in extreme measures. If you do a little bit every day, you wouldn't have to come to this point where you have to nap in the library or walk and not fall asleep and all of that. But coffee does work. It depends on how strong you make it and all of that.
Back to this coffee. Alright, yeah, so some people the coffee will work for. Alright, so people give you a name and ID so people can ask more questions there because we are about to lockdown. I think this was a really informative thing. I'm gonna do this again tomorrow with a lawyer, maybe a group of lawyers, some students who went on to do law. So people on the channel are looking out for that. Hopefully we come through that. I'll let you all know. You can follow me on Instagram, obviously, Kerwin Springer. Chelsea, you're willing to take questions?
Yeah, honestly, message me. Especially if your problem is falling asleep, message me. I will try my best to help you because I know the struggle.
So what's your Instagram?
My Shallow177 CHELLO177. Type it.
Yeah, I can talk further now.
Yeah, so just type out all the tags.
I had to re-download it, yeah? Yeah, I had to re-download this real low.
What's that?
IG yourself.
Oh yeah, the re-download IG.
Yeah, I uninstalled it.
Guys, don't get started drinking coffee all the time, man. Like, use it when you really need it, but don't take it every time you're in.
Yeah, don't use it if you don't need it. So that's how it is able to work for me. I don't drink it all the time. Only like say 2 weeks before exams, I would drink it and I would make it really strong. But if I drink it like that all the time, I'm tolerant.
Yeah. So let me tell you my thing with that, right? Now, sleep is be a challenge for me too. But you all know I sacrifice sleep all the time. I have 2 o'clock in the night in my thing. I challenge myself since UV days because I realized coffee used to work. I challenged myself in year 2, I think, when I switched over and started to catch back myself. Dejon, Mike. So I challenged myself that I wasn't going to use any drugs. No, I call in coffee a drug, right? But I wasn't going to use anything to help me. So if I want to stay up, I just share the strength of my mind and to keep me up. If I want to stay up, I use any other trick that I could possibly use other than coffee, caffeine, any other let's call this Red Bull and thing that people used to be taking. Because once, this is what I do, I was really sleepy and no one needed to study for this exam, and this was like the end of exam season. You know when you're completely drained and you just have no more intent, and I'll leave back everything just for the last. I take the passing wrong and you read is do that around exam time studying hot coffee. I take some of that. I take a next set. Now I went and drink cold Monster. I feel like I nearly killed myself that night just to stay up and study that exam. Energy drinks. Yeah, it was a real, and after that was like, I'm never ever going back and use coffee until it. So it can't be done. It can't be done without coffee. I think one of the things medicine, it works hand in hand with coffee because of the long pulses and the pull, you know. But it can be done without coffee. And things like apples and fruits and things could be a replacement. And good exercising, water, eating healthy, sleeping as when you can, like not taking too much screen time and that kind of thing. Because if you ever notice, if you use Instagram for a long time, you get tired. It's actually wear you down. So those kind of things, they'll cut back on those kind of things. So coffee is a type of a shortcut that you want to try not to use.
Use it when you need it, especially.
Right.
So if you enjoy drinking it, try to only drink it when you really need it, because it will come a time you really need it.
Right. Okay, so y'all be taking it there. Why is in the chat for these crew? Press like on the video. You know, when you press like on the video, it helps YouTube algorithm so that it will share out more to people who subscribe to the channel, because not everybody gets a notification. You can follow these guys. Savio, he just put his own version. I didn't see your handle. Where's your handle?
I was going to tell them stop commenting so we could put our Instagram names so everybody could see it.
Alright, well, telling them to stop commenting is like trying to stop.
Yeah.
Type it.
If you want to have more questions, just message the Instagram.
Oh, you know what? Just follow me, Kerwin Springer, and I'll tag them in my story, right? Follow me and I'll tag them in the story. Later.
Amelia, I will message me and I will answer your question because I can't see it in one way.
So it was great having you on, Chelsea, John, Savio. Thanks, because this really helped people. Now I will just take this link and give it to people when they ask me questions. They're asking if you're a tutor. I don't think they're in the position of a tutor right now because it's studying.
But doing is all you need, honestly.
If you want a life coach, maybe, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Motivation, I can definitely do that.
All right, so we out. Blessings.